When you decide to make upgrades, we have rebates available for you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
One of the things that makes Northern Title unique is the fact that we serve clients in 3 states, Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming. Each state has different rules and regulations, and our experienced staff understands each unique rule, so we can facilitate closings in all 3 states. If you're buying a home in Star Valley and you want to close in Preston, it's no problem. The company logo is Good Deeds Done Daily. We are preparing Good Deeds Daily, but it's more than that. We really are trying to serve the community in a good way. Northern Title, Good Deeds Done Daily. Visit us today.
Go Preston!
Listen for Dan Hubbard and Preston Indian Sports on KACH.
All right, sound check. Preston versus Marsh Valley. 3-2-1, 3-2-1. This is your countdown for the Preston Indians pregame show. Pregame in 30 seconds from Mark. As we'll have a good game today, hopefully. And pregame show will start in 15 seconds from Mark. Pregame in 10 seconds from Mark. Have a good game. Pre-game show in 5 seconds from Mark.
Let's go! Batter up! We're taking the afternoon off. It's a beautiful day for a ball game today. The fans are out to get a ticket or two. From Walla Walla, Washington to Kalamazoo. It's a beautiful day for a home run, but even a triple's okay. We're gonna cheer and boo and raise a hullabaloo at the ball game today.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Northern Title, the trusted name in the tri-state area. Rocky Mountain Power, WattSmartHomes.com, offering rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. Ready Support Services, we are ready. West Motor Company, your only stop for new or used cars in Preston and in Logan. Franklin County Medical Center for the finest care in all of the Cache Valley. Stokes Market True Value with the finest meat and produce in Preston. S&T Electric, it's what we do. Flying S Escrow and Title, land title protectors since 1905. Ultimate Power Sports, get ready for your next outdoor adventure at Ultimate Power Sports in Preston. Elisa Benson of North Realty, Idaho and North Realty, Utah. Webb Funeral Home, serving Preston and the surrounding communities since 1925. Cache Valley Bank, serving Utah and southern Idaho with 21 locations. Yardmaster, keeping lawns healthy throughout the Cache Valley. Puppy Steps Training, northern Utah and southern Idaho's premier board and training facility since 2011. Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency, your local agents right here in Preston. Canyon Creek Dental, with 2 area locations to serve you. Preston Auto Parts Car Quest. Stop in downtown Preston where you will be treated like a friend. Papa J's, making world-class jerky locally right here in Clifton. Ralph's Construction, building custom homes throughout the region. This broadcast is made possible through an agreement between Preston Broadcasting, LLC and Preston High School, and is a production of Preston Broadcasting, LLC. This game is intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of this broadcast without express written permission of Old West Media is strictly prohibited. This is the Polar Bear pregame show. Coming up, we'll have details on the upcoming game. We'll visit with the coach, and we'll look at the other games going on around the area. It's all on the Polar Bear pregame show. The Polar Bear is back and better than ever. Grab some for lunch today or stop by after the game. Polar Bear Burgers and Shakes on State Street at the south end of the city of Preston. And welcome here to the ballpark here today as the Indians will take on the Marsh Valley Eagles coming up here in just a couple of minutes as you see the umpires walking out onto the field. As we had a chance to talk with the coach of the Indians, but I'm not sure we're going to get a chance to hear from her because the umpires are coming out as the game was supposed to start at 4 o'clock. And I have a feeling they're going to want to start early. It is cold. It is windy. In fact, the wind just really started gusting. And if you weren't here for the game earlier, American Falls has eliminated Bear Lake as they dealt them their second loss as they lost 10-6 in that game. The pregame show brought to you by Polar Bear Eats. Since 1952, Polar Bear Eats has been serving up more than just burgers and shakes. It's been a cornerstone of Preston history. Step back in time at Polar Bear Eats. You'll find them on the highway at the south end of the city of Preston. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll see if we can get to our chat with the head coach of the Indians. We'll do that as we continue right after this timeout on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
At Bighorn Cleaning, we understand that maintaining a clean environment is essential for both comfort and health. That's why we specialize in a variety of services, including carpet, upholstery, grout, and tile cleaning. Whether it's reviving the vibrancy of your carpets, restoring the freshness of your upholstery, or rejuvenating the shine of your tile, we deliver exceptional results every time. With our competitive pricing and unmatched expertise, we strive to make your cleaning experience hassle-free. Contact us at 208-317-6544 to schedule your next cleaning appointment.
When you think of outdoor adventure, you might think of snow machines, four-wheelers, side-by-sides, motorcycles, or even cutting wood or taking care of the lawn. No matter what your definition of outdoor adventure is, always remember Ultimate Power Sports. We carry brand names like Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha, Skidoo, Stihl, and Toro. Offering sales and service, your fun really does begin at Ultimate Power Sports. With multiple in-store financing options, we can help you have outdoor adventures right now. Stop in today, Ultimate Power Sports in Logan and Preston.
In a world that's full of unknowns, you don't have to worry about whether or not your insurance has got you covered when life throws you a curveball. If your coverage is with Farm Bureau, the Smith Insurance Agency in Preston, offering policies from auto to home, farm and ranch to crop insurance, and business to life insurance. The Smith Insurance Agency does it all. No matter what challenges life brings, you're not alone. Make sure you've got the right coverage in the right areas of your life. Schedule a free insurance review today with Farm Bureau, the Smith Insurance Agency in Preston.
When you are looking for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but you want something that is ready to eat now, always stop at the Stokes Market Deli in Preston. With cold and hot cases, you can always find food that is fresh, hot, or cold. Sandwiches, soup, salads, deviled eggs, donuts, wraps, cheese trays, desserts, and a hot and delicious buffet. A meal out doesn't have to be at a restaurant. Come and enjoy something for everyone at the Stokes Market Deli today. 217 South State Street in Preston.
The pregame coaches show is brought to you by Elisa Benson, North Realty Idaho, and North Realty Utah. And welcome back again to the Polar Bear pregame show, as once again we sit down with Brandy Hemmert here in the coach's corner and have a little chat here before the Indians get ready to take on the Marsh Valley Eagles today. What's up with the weather? Boy, it's so different than it was here on Saturday. It was sunny and nice and warm. Now you get dark and windy and cold and gray again.
I know. I was in shorts. I hate wearing shorts, but I was in shorts on Saturday, and it was so hot. Now I'm, like, bundled up, so, yeah. Idaho weather for you.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly it. All right, so you're able to knock off American Falls here on Saturday. Kind of a different game. It's all of a sudden, you know, we mentioned it before the game. You hadn't played for 8 days, and the bats kind of showed it a little bit.
Yeah, they did. The girls came earlier today and did some swings, but our defense was great. We had, I think, one error, but huge impact not hitting those bats as well as we normally do. And we hit really well the first inning, and then we were just nothing until the very last minute. I hate doing that, but, at least we got it done. But, yeah, I'm hoping our bats are a lot hotter today than they were Saturday for sure.
But they came out in the bottom of the seventh inning. You got back-to-back doubles, a sacrifice bunt, and the scoring fly ball, and you score a couple of runs, and you come away with a 4-3 win.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Thompson, the baseball team, and he's like, great comeback. And I said, yeah, but who likes to do it like that? Who likes to win a ball game that late in the game? And he goes, but boy, does it feel good when you pull it off. And he's right. It did. I think I beat Paisley home, to home plate running. I was so excited, and it's just a huge thing for those girls to know that they can do hard things. And I've told them that all year, and they really showed that they could. And no one better to have that situation happen to than Chloe Dunn, stepping into the box and making that count. She's told me all year if she doesn't get on base, she gets so frustrated. And I kept telling her RBIs are far more important than a base hit. And that's exactly what it was. That her RBI is what won us that game, and that hit, even though she got out, is still one heck of a hit. And so I'm glad that it was her out of all people to do it. She mentally needed that.
You talk about RBIs being more important than hits, and some cases they are. But you realize that coming into the game today, she's now hit in 13 straight games.
Yeah, she's my mental case. I tell her all the time, but she's a great hitter, a great player, solid every.
Maya Lortosh. Lordich, I guess is how you pronounce it, as that pitch is down low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. She bats 7th in play at first base. Naya calls in left field, batting 8th. And Aaliyah Van Loven is the right fielder. She'll hit 9th. We'll give you the Preston lineup when they come up in the bottom half of the inning. As that pitch is up high and evens the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 3:50 officially the start of play. Cloudy and windy. And windy with a capital W on that one. As that pitch misses inside again. And it is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of inning number 1. One out, 3-2 on the hitter. As the 3-2 pitch is over, strike 3 called. So a strikeout and a ground out, 2 outs here in the top of the first. And with 2 outs, here comes Lydia Howell, the pitcher, up to the plate. As Howell steps in, hitting from the right side. 54 degrees at the start of the game today as that ball hit foul. And it's 0-1. It's about 30 degrees less than what it was at first pitch here on Saturday in the doubleheader. Or I should say in the game on Saturday of the tournament, not a doubleheader. For the Indians at least. So 0-1 the count on Howell. Next pitch swung on and missed as Keller jumps out in front. No balls and 2 strikes. So 0-2 the count on Howell, the pitcher today for Marsh Valley. Hits the ball in the air to center. Playable. Coming up on the ball and drops it as Biggs comes up and had to go clanging off her glove. And Howell will reach. So it'll be an error on Keller. Or I should say on the center fielder, Biggs, I should say. Kind of late getting stuff set up because the Bear Lake folks were here sitting inside the press box today instead of outside where they're normally at. As the first pitch to Campbell misses down low and behind her, goes to the backstop, and that allows Howell to hustle down to second base on the wild pitch. So they were inside here instead of sitting out in the outfield like they normally are. So it took them a couple of minutes to get out of the way. Then the umpires wanting to start the game 10 minutes early because they were cold. As the next pitch hit in the air again toward left field. And deep, and the left fielder going back, and it's going to get off the top of the wall. And they're going to call it a double or it's a home run. It should be a home run because it went over the fence. And nope, they're going to call it a double instead. So it'll be an RBI double for Campbell as the wind got a hold of it and carried it out over the fence. So it's an RBI double, and Marsh Valley's on the board. So that's the first hit of the game for the Eagles, and with 2 outs and a run in, here's Lisa Peck, the second baseman. Peck, first ball swinging, hits it on the ground to short. Madsen up with it, fires across, and the inning is over, but not before Marsh Valley gets a run. On 1 hit, there was an error, and 1 left after a half inning. Marsh Valley 1, Preston nothing, as we'll give you the Indian lineup when we come back after this timeout on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
In today's world, you need a bank that moves as fast as you move. A bank where personal relationships are still the norm and where your life, your business, and your needs come first. That's what you'll find at Cache Valley Bank. With locations in southern Idaho and throughout Utah, Cache Valley Bank offers you the personalized service of a hometown bank with the resources and capacities of a large bank. Visit Cache Valley Bank today. Let us help you build the financial network you need. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Ready is committed to providing superior services to our customers by requiring individual accountability for excellence in quality, safety, and dependability. We are a growing company that is currently hiring across Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Nevada, Idaho, and elsewhere. Our valued team members receive competitive wages, full benefits, and weekly pay. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
All right, Preston trailing 1-0 as they come up for the first time here in the bottom of the first inning here this afternoon. As we give you the lineup here as we go through, as Avery Madsen will lead off. She is the shortstop. As she'll hit in the leadoff spot. Brielle Biggs will hit second. She's in center field. Ellie Keller is the pitcher. She'll hit third. The first pitch to Madsen, hit in the air to right to center field, hit pretty well. Giving chase back in on it is the right fielder, Van Loren. It's going to bounce over the fence, and it's a ground rule double for Avery Madsen. So the first pitch, Madsen hits it over the right center field fence for a ground rule double. And Preston has the tying run standing at second base. So here's Brielle Biggs. So Campbell will hit in the fourth spot. She does the catching today. Rochelle Gilbert is the designated player. She'll hit fifth. Chloe Dunn hits sixth over at first base. The first pitch to Biggs misses ball one. Mesa Jones will hit sixth. She's at third base today. Sam Owens is in left field batting eighth. And Oakley Hatch hits ninth, and she is over in right field. Next pitch hit on the ground. Nice play by the first baseman as Lortzer carries it to the bag for the out. However, Madsen's going to hustle over to third base, and she's there with one out. So the tying run standing at third. One out here in the bottom of the first inning, and now here is Ellie Keller. Keller, who was 2 for 3 the other day, had a pair of doubles in the game. And she's now hit straight in 8 straight games as they throw back to their third base. And diving back to the bag is Madsen. Lineups today brought to you by Webb Funeral Home, serving Preston and the surrounding communities since 1925. So 1-0. Eagles on top. Next pitch hit in the air to center. That should be deep enough to get the run in as the center fielder has to go back on the ball. Campbell makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Madsen, and we're tied at 1. So Keller gets the ball in the air with scoring fly ball. There's 2 outs in the inning. The bases are empty, and now here's Paisley Campbell. Campbell, who had 1 hit in the game on Saturday against American Falls, extended her hitting streak out. She's now hit in 6 straight. And she'll hit from the right side as the first pitch is over for a strike, and it's 0-1 from Howell. So the right-hander Howell ready again. Next pitch, and misses the outside edge, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So a ball and a strike. 2 outs, a run in for the Indians. They get even. It's 1-1. As the next pitch swung on and missed. As Campbell now trails in the count 1-2. In this 6-game hitting streak that Paisley's currently on, she has 11 hits. She's 11 for 23 with a total of 10 RBIs during that time. And 6 of the 11 hits have been for extra bases. As the pitch misses down and in, goes to the backstop, and the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 the count. Outfield very deep, but straight away. as the wind continues to blow out toward left center field as that pitch is on the corner, strike 3 called, and Campbell goes down on strikes. Inning over, but Preston gets a run on 1 hit. No errors and no one left, and we're done with an inning here at Tony Hanson Field after an inning on the Flying S Title and Escrow scoreboard. Preston 1 and Marsh Valley 1 here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Purchasing land or a new home is one of life's major milestones. It says you're committed to a better life, to building something worthwhile. Since 1905, Flying S has been land title protectors, ensuring you have clear ownership rights to your home and your land. By blending personalized hometown customer service with sophisticated, cutting-edge technology, we meet each customer's real estate transaction needs. When you need a title company, choose the one that's been serving customers for over 119 years. Flying S Title and Escrow, 28 West Oneida, Preston.
Hi, I am Dr. Chelsea Morrison, the Primary Care Medical Director at Franklin County Medical Center. I'm here to tell you that one of the most important things you should do each year is see your doctor. A yearly checkup is a small way to prevent large health problems from happening. It is also an opportunity to get support for you and your family's health goals. Everyone, young or old, should have an annual wellness check, and chances are your insurance plan will cover it. Call to schedule your annual wellness checkup today.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Well, we're tied at 1 after an inning, and we go here to the second. Maya Anderson, Maya Lorschner, and then Nia Call, the left fielder, all due up here in the inning here for the Marsh Valley Lady Eagles. Well, to think that today is a lot different than how it was on Saturday. Saturday it was clear skies, nice and warm, just a little hint of a breeze, and the temperatures in the low 80s. Today, totally different. Of course, and you have to just automatically think of what Mark Twain wrote, that the coldest winter he had ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. Well, it's pretty much the same here today. Of course, you think May is going to start getting warmer. Not here today. Not at all. 54 degrees today at the first pitch, as the first pitch is swung out and missed here by Maya Anderson. Anderson, the catcher. Hitting .349 on the year. She's actually hit in 3 straight games. And hits that ball in the air, coming over to try to make the play. Paisley Campbell hustling, but can't quite get to it. Kind of tripped on the edge of the grass coming over and ended up falling over by the on-deck circle on the first base side. And the ball went off her glove. And it's 0-2. She has 7 RBIs on the year and a total of 3 extra base hits this season. Not only she hit in 3 straight, but earlier this year she had hit in 6 in a row. Little ground ball up along third, charging, throwing not in time over to first base as the ball gets away and rolls into foul territory, but it's not going to matter. They're going to say it rolled out of play, and they're going to give Anderson the second base. So it'll be a hit and an error on the bad throw. Infield hit allows her to reach, but she wasn't going to throw her out anyway, and then the error gives her second base. So, go-ahead run out there at second base, and now here is Maya Lorchner. Lorchner's the first baseman. She spells her first name M-Y-A. Of course, Anderson, who stands at second base, has the same name at M-Y-A. As that pitch over for a strike, and waiting on deck is Nia Call, and she spells her name N-Y-A. So 0-1 the count on Lorchner. Outfield straight away, and that gusty wind blowing about 25 miles an hour. A little roller up along third, and it's going to go foul and stay that way. And it's going to be no balls in 2 strikes. So here's Lorchner, who's only hitting 129 on the year with a couple of RBIs, but she's hit safely in 2 of the last 3. As the next pitch swung on and missed, she chased one up in her eyes. And for Lorchner, she goes down on strikes. That's the first out. Second strikeout in the game here for Ellie Keller. Keller, of course, who went the distance the other day on Saturday and bounced right back in there again today. So here is Nia Call, the left fielder. First pitch to Nia is over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Call hitting .259 is hitting in just in back-to-back games. She has 2 hits and 5 at-bats during that time. The 2 hits that she had were both doubles, and she drove in a total of 3 runs during that time. And she loops one in the infield, charging quickly, and they throw back to second and get the force out there. It's a double play, and Preston's out of the inning. So a nice hustle play by Avery Madsen, then throws back to second to get the out, and they turn it into a double play. So Preston's out of the inning, no runs, 1 hit, an error, and Marsh Valley leaves a runner at second base, but she was out on the back end of the double play as well, and that's the way the inning will end. So we're done with an inning and a half. We'll go to the second. It's a 1-1 tie, Preston and Marsh Valley, here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
100% guarantee is a good thing, and that's what you get when you hire the professionals at Yardmaster Services. We help you get the yard of your dream with custom fertilization for grass, trees, and shrubs, spraying for weeds, and lawn aeration. We also help keep your sprinkler system in top shape with turn-on and turn-off services, including winterization and small repairs. We even eliminate the bugs in the lawn and around the house. Yardmaster, serving commercial and residential customers. Call Yardmaster Services today for a free quote.
There's no better family activity than a night out at the movies. Worm Creek Opera House Theater on State Street in Preston is your local home for first-run family movies. The historic theater offers top-flight comfort, the coolest refreshments, and quality entertainment, all at family prices. Stop by the Worm Creek Opera House at 70 South State Street in downtown Preston. For tickets, show times, and a list of upcoming attractions, go to wormcreek.org.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
All right, we'll move along here to the bottom of the second inning in a 1-1 tie. And for the Indians, Rachel Gilbert, Chloe Dunn, and Mesa Jones due up. As Howell Reddy comes home, and the first pitch is over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Gilbert, who was 1 for 2 against American Falls. She was taken out of the game about halfway through. As that pitch is up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Along with the 1 hit, she drove in a couple of runs, and she's hit safely in each of the last 5 games. Ball and a strike. Howell comes right back, and the pitch again hit foul back into the screen. Gilbert head-to-head against Marsh Valley this year with 5 hits. 5 for 8 with 5 RBIs, and she has 20 RBIs overall on the year. Here comes the 1-2. Roller up along third, foul. Grabbed there by the third baseman, Bertacci, in foul ground. So it stays at 1-2. Howell Reddy again, back in the circle in the 1-2 offering. Again rolled outside of third and foul down the line. So again, it stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. One place I would not want to be playing today is in the outfield. Boy, that wind is going to play havoc with fly balls. Little roller in the infield. Grabbed there by Lorchner, the first baseman. She'll carry it to the bag. Actually, she'll flip it to the second baseman coming over. And Gilbert's out 3-4 for the first out of the inning. And now that'll bring up Chloe Dunn. Dunn may have had the biggest at-bat in the game here on Saturday, although it's not going to show that way in the box score. She came up with a winning run at third base and one out in the bottom of the 7th inning and hit the fly ball into left center field that turned into a scoring fly ball as Paisley Campbell raced home with a winning run and Preston won 4-3. As that pitch is down in the dirt, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. So where does Preston stand today? Well, if they win today, they punch their ticket to state for the first time in 16 years. Next pitch, misses down and in. 1 ball, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count. If they lose, they'll play tomorrow afternoon here against American Falls again. If they win that game, that would also get them into state. As a little roller foul. And now 2 balls and a strike. They win today, they would play again on Thursday. If they win today, they play again on Thursday, and they would play the winner of the game between Marsh Valley and American Falls, as that one's banged to center, base hit. So Dunn keeps swinging the hot bat as she singles to center. And for Chloe, she's now hit in 14 straight games. So Dunn singles, and now here's Mesa Jones. Jones, who was 0 for 2 the other day against American Falls, had a little 2-game hitting streak snapped. As first ball swinging, pops it up, foul, and going to land untouched. So it's 0-1 on Jones. 1 out, runner at first base, and a 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the 2nd inning on the Flying S Title and Escrow scoreboard. Howell ready again. Next pitch. Hit in the air to left field. That's hit pretty well. Back on the ball goes Call at the wall. It is gone. Home run. As Call ran all the way back to the fence and then tripped over the fence trying to get to the ball. It's a 2-run home run for Mesa Jones. And Preston on top now 3-1. She got it up there in that wind and it just kept blowing it. And eventually blew it all the way out. And for Jones, it's her 6th extra base hit of the year and her first home run of the year. As they need to go out and a little attention paid to the outfield fence out there in left field as Call tripped over it and then had to go get the ball. So Preston with the 2 runs here in the inning on a pair of hits. Of course, the big blow, the 2-run home run by Mesa Jones, and now here is Sam Owens with 1 out, and the base is empty. Howell comes home, first pitch, misses up high, ball 1 ball and no strikes. Owens has also got a little hitting streak going. She's hit in 3 straight and 4 of the last 5. She's 7 for the last 18 overall as that pitch misses down and in, and it's ball 2 balls and no strikes. She had a couple of hits in the game against American Falls, and she starts play today hitting at .319. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch. It stays high again, and it's ball 3 balls and no strikes. So 3-0 on Owens as the Preston left fielder waits. And here comes the pitch. That's going to be high and away, ball 4. So she walks, and Howell now finds herself in a little bit more trouble. She walks her first batter of the day, but puts a runner at first base, and now here is the number 9 hitter, Oakley Hatch, who will come up. Here's Hatch. Oakley hitting just at 180 on the season. Yeah, she hits the one right up along the first base line. It started foul, then the English on the ball brought it back fair. as Lowitzer picks it up and steps on the bag in fair territory, and that's an out for the second out of the inning, and that allows Owens to hustle her way up to second base, which is the lesson for you. Always run even though the ball may be foul. So we go back to the top of the order. Here's Avery Madsen. Madsen doubled her first time up and extended a hitting streak of her own, as she's now hitting 6 straight with that hit today. Little roller back to the mound. Nice play by Howell to spear it and throw over to first base in time for the out. And Madsen grounds out 1-3 for the third out of the inning. However, Preston gets 2 runs on the big blast, the 2-run home run by Mesa Jones. No errors and nobody left in the inning as well, as we are done with 2 here this afternoon. We'll go to the third after 2 on the Flying S Title and Escrow scoreboard. It's Preston 3 and Marsh Valley 1 on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Make the best deal you can. When it's time to buy or sell commercial or residential real estate, it's important to have Elisa Benson on your team. She is helpful, knowledgeable, honest, friendly, hardworking, and results-oriented. As a graduate of Preston High School, Elisa understands the real estate markets in Idaho and Utah. Call Elisa Benson today, North Realty Idaho and North Realty Utah. Elisa Benson, your proactive, trusted advisor.
Webb Funeral Home is proud to be the leading provider of funeral services in northern Cache Valley, including southeast Idaho, for almost 100 years. We are a full-service mortuary offering the highest quality services with very affordable pricing. We have plans to meet everyone's budget, from traditional funeral services to graveside services and cremation options. We gladly provide free insurance coverage review, quality headstones and monuments, as well as funeral transcriptions. Let us answer any questions you might have by calling us at 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, a trusted name in funeral service since 1925.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
We go to the top of the third inning, and the first pitch home from Ellie Keller hits Alea Van Leuven. So she'll head down to first base. First hit batter today by Ellie Keller. And there'll be runner at first base. And we go back to the top of the order. And Madison Foster, who grounded out to short her first time up, will come up to the plate. Ball lifted in the air to right field, short, and coming up is the right fielder Hatch. She'll have to play it on a bounce and get it back in, but it'd be late at second base. So everybody's safe as Foster singles to right field, and there'll be runners at first and second. And for Foster, she's now hit in 4 straight games as she picks up a hit here. So here's Madison Barchi, the third baseman. Took a called third strike her first time up today. 2 for 6 on the year against the Indians. Shows bunt. She bunts at it. Makes a attempt at the ball, but the umpire says no, that she did not, and called it a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes. Certainly looked at like as if she had made an attempt at the ball. So 1-0 the count as they look to Barchi to try to bunt to move the runners up. Now she's going to bunt, and she rolls it foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Today's game brought to you by Cache Valley Bank, where your life, your needs, and your business all come first. With locations in southern Idaho and throughout Utah, they're here to serve you. Cache Valley Bank. 3-1 Preston, top of the third. Again, bunting, and again she bunts it foul. And it's now 1-2. Check that, 2-2. Is it? 1-2 is the correct count, my bad. Keller takes a moment to look over into the dugout where they call pitches there for her. Now she walks back up and into the circle, and again the ball hit foul at home plate. Yeah, thinking about what Mark Twain wrote about the coldest winter he had ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. One of the greatest stories that ever came out of baseball having to do with weather happened in San Francisco. As the ball lined back at the pitcher, she grabs it. Keller throws to first base for the double play. So Barchi hit it off the end of the bat, a little soft line drive back to the pitcher. As Keller throws to first for the double play, they double off Foster, and Preston's turned 2 double plays in as many innings. So with 2 outs, now here's Lydia Howell. Howell reached on an error first time up. Keller comes home, and the first pitch is on the corner for a called strike. I know better than to start this story with 2 outs in an inning. I won't leave you hanging. It's a great story. But I know better than to start the story with 2 outs. As the next pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Ball gets away, and that's going to send the runner to second base. So Van Loven, who was, I should say she's now at third base, Van Loven, who was hit by a pitch, was still out there on the base paths. Now she stands at third with 2 outs. Oh, 0-2 the count, and the 0-2 pitch. Grounded foul just outside of third. Yeah, it's Gary Carlson. They're doing like a little Mexican hat dance here on Cinco de Mayo, knocking the ball down to keep it from going down the line. So it stays at 0-2. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Just missed outside, 1-2. You know, trying to get games in here. I mean, the folks in Wyoming learned years ago that sometimes you give in. You can't win sometimes against Mother Nature, as that ball's going to be blown, but it's going to land foul. It was headed well foul, and the wind brought it all the way back and ended up landing about 4 or 5 feet foul. Is that wind still continues to blow from the left field line out toward left center field. But like I said, the folks in Wyoming learned years ago not to fight Mother Nature. You give up. There's just some things you can't do outside in March, April, and May in baseball and softball. Sometimes one of them. As that ball hit in the air to center, here comes Biggs over and makes the catch. She may have dropped the first one in the first inning, but she hangs on to this one as Howell flies out to center, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit batter. But thanks to a second double play of the game, Preston gets out of the inning just leaving 1, and we will go to the third. We'll tell that story when we come back about the greatest weather story ever happened in baseball. We'll do that as we continue. Preston leads 3-1 as we go to the bottom of inning number 3 right after this on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you'll be appreciated. It's even better to know that you can get everything you need, quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciates every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car or truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in where you'll be treated like a friend. 17 South State Street, Preston.
It's the best feeling when you've had a long drive and you see your hotel, the Come On Inn, Casper. That means your day just got better. At the Come On Inn, you have lots of options. Unwind in the hot tub, go for a swim, relax in the beautiful atrium, and sleep in total comfort. Centrally located, the Come On Inn is close to everything. In the morning, start your day with a delicious breakfast. Top it all off with an amazing, friendly staff who is always glad to see you. It doesn't get better than that. When you're in Casper, always stay at the Come On Inn.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
First pitch here in the bottom of the third inning is driven to the right field corner, and Brielle Biggs is just going to keep on running and get all the way to third base. So the leadoff runner triples, and Biggs stands at third. Preston already leading 3-1, and now here comes Keller, Campbell, and Gilbert to try to pick her up. Today's game brought to you by Puppy Steps Training, the ultimate board and training experience not only in Utah but also in Idaho. For more information, check out their website at puppystepstraining.com. As the first pitch to Keller misses down low, ball one. All right, you've waited long enough. Let's tell the story. So remember, the Giants and the Dodgers both moved from New York to out to the West Coast, 58, 59. Dodgers played in the Coliseum for a couple of years until the Dodger Stadium opened in 61. As the pitch to Keller missed outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Well, after the Candlestick Park was built, the Giants started playing there about 1963-ish, as the wind kind of picks up some dust blowing on around the infield. As Howell Reddy comes home with the next pitch to Keller. That's looped into center field. That's going to be a hit, and it's 4-0 as Keller picks up her second RBI of the game. As Biggs comes home to score, and Preston leads 4-1 here in the third. So when the Giants eventually started playing in Candlestick Park, and if you've ever been to San Francisco, the worst weather anywhere in the city is out on Candlestick Point where they built the ballpark. Right on the water, the fog would come rolling in. As the pitch is high, there goes Keller, and she is going to be out at second base trying to steal second. So Keller's caught stealing, 2-4. That's the first out of the inning. And 1 ball and no strikes here on Paisley Campbell. So they're playing a game one day, and the fog started to roll in, and the fog was so bad you couldn't see. Well, Leo DeRocher was the manager for the Giants at the time and came out and started to complain that it was too foggy. You can't see Willie Mays standing out in center field. It's so foggy. As the pitch over for a strike, and it's 1-1. So the home plate umpire agreed, and they stopped the game. It was too foggy to play. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Popped up, first base side, gone down the line. The wind's got it, and it's going to land fair. Nobody's covering first base, and Campbell finally gets down there, and she's going to be safe with a little flare hit along the line. So Campbell thought it was going to be foul. She stayed at home plate the whole time. Finally, the ball lands fair, and she has to hustle down the line to get to first base, and that'll bring up Rachel Gilbert. So the home plate umpire says, yes, I agree. It's too foggy. We can't see. And they stop the game. The funny part is, and what the moral of the story is that became as they bunted foul out of play, that became the benchmark by which it became too foggy to play games at Candlestick Park. If you couldn't see Willie Mays standing in center field, it was too foggy to play. Now, I'm not saying it's foggy here. That's about the only thing we don't have that reminds you of Candlestick Park right now. Ball bunted out in front of home plate, fair. They throw to first in time for the out. Snap throw back behind the runner as Campbell just does get back to the bag. So Gilbert with a little bunt out. 2-3 on the putout. Now there's 2 outs. And now here comes the hottest bat on the team, Chloe Dunn. Dunn, who singled her first time up, extended a hitting streak out to 14 games as the first pitch is rolled foul up along the third base line, and it's 0-1. For Dunn, she's now 20 for her last 45, with 7 RBIs and 5 extra base hits. She started play today hitting .357 on the year, and as we said, now has hit in 14 in a row as that pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. She's 5 for 6. Now add 1 to it. She's 6 for 7 this year, head-to-head against Marsh Valley. And the next pitch home. Line back up the middle. Nope, it's off the end of the bat. A little pop-up back to the pitcher, and Dunn is out. And that will end the inning. Preston gets a run, however, on 3 hits in the inning. They leave one runner out there on the base paths as they'll extend the lead as we will go to the 4th after 3 here on the Flying S Title and Escrow scoreboard. It's Preston 4, Marsh Valley 1 on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
In a world that's full of unknowns, you don't have to worry about whether or not your insurance has got you covered when life throws you a curveball. If your coverage is with Farm Bureau, the Smith Insurance Agency in Preston, offering policies from auto to home, farm and ranch to crop insurance, and business to life insurance. The Smith Insurance Agency does it all. No matter what challenges life brings, you're not alone. Make sure you've got the right coverage in the right areas of your life. Schedule a free insurance review today with Farm Bureau, the Smith Insurance Agency in Preston.
We offer rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. For example, your home's heating and air conditioning system draws significant amount of electricity during certain times of the year. We offer cashback for heat pumps, which use energy-efficient technology to heat and cool your home. We also offer rebates on appliances and smart accessories like smart plugs and smart switches. Really, for anything that draws electricity in your home, we usually have some type of rebate to offer you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
All right, we move along here to the 4th inning. Preston leading 4-1. And here for the Lady Eagles of Marsh Valley, they will start off with Olivia Campbell, Lisa Peck, and then Maya Anderson, the middle of the order, 4, 5, and 6. So Preston leading 4-1, thanks in part to the big 2-run home run by Mesa Jones back in the 2nd inning. So here we go to the 4th. Campbell doubled her first time up. As Keller back inside the circle, rocks and comes home, and the first pitch is down low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-0 on Campbell. As the next pitch is going to be pulled. That's inside third. Just gets past the glove of Jones out into left field. As Campbell will turn and go to second base, and she'll be in there standing. So she pulled one just fair, got it inside third, just past the glove of Jones. She opens up the 4th inning with a double. And now here's Lisa Peck, who grounded out to short her first time. Peck, a .308 hitter. And she also has hit safely in 4 of the last 5. Of course, for Preston, who was 7-1 in conference play when they won the game last Saturday, they've won 6 straight. The Indians come in 13-10 overall on the year, and Marsh Valley, who got to today's game by beating Bear Lake, who was eliminated earlier today, the game before this, by American Falls. That pitch is over for a strike, and it's 0-2. The Eagles, who had struggled the whole year, are just 4-16 at the start of play today. In fact, they went winless during the regular season in conference play, but got into the tournament in kind of a play-in situation and beat Bear Lake to get in. As the pitch misses down low, and it's 1-2. So Bear Lake losing that game to American Falls before we came on the air today by the final score of 10-6 and eliminated. As that pitch misses up high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, Bear Lake, who's been always such a great softball program, has won several state championships over the last few years. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Lisa Peck. Then the 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air to center. As coming up, Biggs has to play it on a bounce. Coming to third, and there'll be runners at the corners as Campbell stops at third with 1 out. Check that with no outs, as the single by Peck puts runners at the corners. So here's Maya Anderson, who singled. Went to second on an error by the third baseman earlier in the game. Preston, who's had an error in each inning so far today, with 3 errors overall on the game. So here's Anderson. Anderson stands at home plate representing the tying run. Runner goes, they throw through. They tag, get it out there, throw back, not in time, and the run comes in. But they get an out at second base as Peck is caught stealing 2-6. And then Olivia Campbell comes in on the fielder's choice to make it a 4-2 game. So the leadoff double is cashed in here by the Eagles and make it 4-2. 1 ball and no strikes on Anderson as she climbs back in. Base is now empty, and that pitch misses high, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0. As that pitch is hit foul into the glove of Campbell. And it goes to 2-1. Today's game brought to you by Flying S Title and Escrow. When you need a title company, choose the one that's been serving its customers for over 119 years. That's Flying S Title and Escrow. Comes the 2-1. That's line to center. It's going to be in for a hit. As that gets by Biggs and goes all the way to the wall. Turning second, going to third is Anderson. She'll be in there with a dive. Anderson with a single, and as we talked about errors for the Indians, a 2-base error by Biggs in center field puts the runner at third base. And Preston, their string of errors in the game continue. That's 1 error now in 4 straight innings. So once again, here comes Lorchner to the plate, and she will come up representing the tying run with only 1 out here in the inning. She struck out her first time up today. So the tying run standing at the plate, and the first pitch from Keller is up high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-0 the count. Outfield straight away. Wind continuing to blow out toward left center field. On a cool, overcast, rainy at times day is that pitch over for a strike, and it's 1-1 as Keller gets the strike on Lorchner. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4-2 Preston leads. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Keller back into the circle. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. This is outside. 2 balls and a strike. As they bluff a throw back to third to try to chase the runner back. And Anderson goes back to the bag. Two balls and a strike. Keller back in the circle again. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Good sinker. And it's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The forecast was for storms after 3 o'clock, and that's pretty much where we're at. Although the clouds don't look that threatening at the moment. The 2-2 pitch. Rolled foul over on the first base side. So it doesn't look like we'll have any problems getting the game in. It's just how much you have to put up with the wind to get there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that leads to a whole new set of problems and stories involving Candlestick Park if we ever get there. Ball popped up in the infield. Keller, right in the circle, makes the catch for the out. So that's 2 outs. And now here is Naya Campbell, who popped up to the shortstop and hit into then Madison turned it into a double play. Now hold on a minute. Our base umpire comes in to pick up a little piece of trash off the field, sticks it back in his pocket, and heads back to his position. So here's Campbell with 2 outs, 4-2. So once again, call at the plate, representing the tying run. Hits a little fly ball along the line. Coming up is Hatch, can't get it. It's going to fall in for a hit. That'll get the run in. Call's going to second, and she'll be out there, but the run scores. So it's a single for Call and an RBI. Then she's thrown out trying to advance 9-6 for the third out. But the run comes in as the Eagles pick up 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits, an error, and nobody left. So we'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning on the Flying S Thailand Escrow scoreboard. Marsh Valley now back to within a run. It's 4-3 on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
When you're hungry for a delicious burger, roast beef sandwich, and an ice-cold soda, stop at Papa J's Deli in Clifton, Idaho. You'll get an amazing meal at an affordable price, and you'll enjoy great conversation. Papa J's is famous for the best beef jerky, but you'll also find a delicious menu, a friendly staff, great snacks, and good friends at Papa J's Deli. Stop in today to satisfy your hunger. Papa J's, 10 South Main Highway, Clifton, Idaho.
105.5 FM KACH.
I'm Dan Keller, Mayor of Preston, and we are Preston Proud and Idaho Strong.
Hi, I'm Jay Butters with Alta Bank, and we are Preston Proud, Idaho Strong.
Hi, this is Lyle Fuller with the Fuller & Fuller Law Firm, and we are Preston Proud and Idaho Strong.
Hi, I'm Larry Morrison with Evergreen Financial Partners. We are Preston Proud and Idaho Strong.
105.5 KACH. We're Preston Proud, Idaho Strong, serving Franklin County and beyond.
All right, 4-3. Preston up by a run as we go here to the bottom of inning number 4. And for the Indians, Mesa Jones will lead it off. Bottom third of the order due up. Jones, Owens, and Hatch as the first pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Today's game brought to you by Yardmaster. If you're looking for the yard of your dreams, you can have it, and it all comes with a 100% guarantee. As the next pitch is lined down to the third baseman, as Bartsey who makes the play. So Jones lines out. And that's the first out. And now here is Sam Owens. If you'd like to have a great yard with a 100% guarantee, call for your free quote at Yardmaster at 435-755-6827. Here's Owens, she walked her first time up. As the first pitch home to Sam, swung on and hit foul back to the screen. It's 0-1. Seems some great play at third base today. Barsic, in the early game, we saw a couple of great plays at third base as well. As the next pitch misses down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Sam Owens. In fact, we kind of made the comment in the first game that it looked like Brooks Robinson was playing third base. Down with that play down there, just turned in by Barsic. That was more of a Brooks Robinson play as well, as that pitch over for a strike. And it's 1-2. Diving over to her left, reaching out, making the play. Saw Brooks made plays like that in the World Series back in the 60s and early 70s as that pitch swung on and missed as Owens goes around. That's the
strikeout of Owens with 2 outs. It'll bring up Oakley Hatch. Second strikeout for Lydia Howell in the game. Now with 2 outs, here is Hatch. She popped up her first time up, handled by the first baseman. So here's Hatch. Hits the ball again in the air to the right side as the wind's going to get a hold of it, as Peck, playing too shallow, couldn't get to it. So it'll be a little wind-blown hit for Hatch as she'll reach. Hit number 7 in the game for the Indians. It comes with 2 outs, and now here is Avery Madsen again. As that hit for Hatch breaks a little hitless streak for her last 4 at-bats in a row, as that pitch is up high. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Madsen. Doubled and then hit back to the pitcher. She has 6 hits in 9 at-bats this year against Marsh Valley. She jerks one down the line. It's going to bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. Her second double of the day. Kind of bad news for the Indians, however. That makes Hatch have to stop at third base, because she would have scored easily. So now there's runners at second and third and 2 outs. And it'll be up to Brielle Biggs to get the run in. Biggs is 1 for 2. As Brielle steps in. First pitch to Biggs is over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Brielle, who was hitless on Saturday against American Falls, that snapped a 5-game hitting streak that she had going. And now with 1 hit and 2 at-bats here today, as that pitch is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brielle is now 13 for her last 28. And before today started, she had only 1 hit on the year against Marsh Valley. She was 1 for 8 coming in. That ball shot foul just outside of first and down the line. And it's now 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. 2 on here for the Indians. They lead by a run. It's 4-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. Biggs back in there. Howell back into the circle. Rocks and comes on with the next pitch, as that is inside. And evens the count at 2s. So deuces wild. Two on. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. You can hear the wind really starting to rustle around out there now. As it starts to gust up just a little bit more. The 2-2 pitch is lined into right field. Base hit. That gets 1 in. Here comes Madsen to the plate. That's a 2-run single for Brielle Biggs. And it's 6-3. Preston increases the lead. And that'll bring up Ellie Keller, looking to extend the inning. So Preston has scored in every inning as they add 2 here. And now here is Ellie Keller at the plate, as the first pitch is down low, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Keller, 1 for 1 today, has a pair of RBIs. She had a scoring fly ball back in the first inning. The 1-0 pitch, it's lined just foul outside of first, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So Biggs back to first base in today's game, brought to you by Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. They have all the parts you need to keep your car or truck running strong. You'll find them at 17 South State Street in Preston. Stop in, where you will be treated like a friend. 6-3 Preston leads. The 1-1 pitch. Look out. As Keller almost walked into one, and it's 2 balls and a strike. So Keller with 2 RBIs today gives her 21 on the year. As that ball's hit towards short and by the shortstop and out into left center field. Turning and going to third is Biggs, and then Preston will have runners at second and third as Keller takes second base on the throw back in. And Ellie has a pair of hits today. And for Keller, that would be her 5th multi-hit game of the year. She already had 2 RBIs in the game, which gives her 4 multi-RBI games this season as well. Now here's Paisley Campbell, who struck out, and she's also singled, as she has one of Preston's 10 hits so far here in the game, as the first pitch is up high, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. 6 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors for the Indians. 1-0 pitch. Hit in the air, center field. Campbell coming over. She's there, and she's there and puts it away, and the inning finally comes to an end. But not before Preston adds a couple of more runs. On 4 hits, there was an error, and Preston will end up leaving 1-2 on here in the inning as well. So we're done with 4. We'll move along to the 5th on the Flying S Timeline Escrow scoreboard. Preston 6, Marsh Valley 3 here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
For 78 years, West Motor Company has stood by your family. While the generations have come and gone, our commitment to quality and service has never wavered. Our team is here to ensure you find the vehicle that keeps your loved ones safe on every journey. When trust matters most, choose West Motor Company, now proud to be part of the Mountain West Auto Group.
We offer rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. For example, your home's heating and air conditioning system draws significant amount of electricity during certain times of the year. We offer cash back for heat pumps, which use energy-efficient technology to heat and cool your home. We also offer rebates on appliances and smart accessories like smart plugs and smart switches. Really, for anything that draws electricity in your home, we usually have some type of rebate to offer you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
Well, 4 innings in the book. We'll move along here to the top of the 5th. Preston leading by a score of 6-3 here in the ball game as we go to the 5th inning. As you can hear the kids rolling around in their little scooters and things down here below us. Of course, the wind's helping them push them around as well as we go here to the 5th. It'll be Avery Van Loven to lead off, then back to the top of the order. Madison Foster and Maddie Barsich due up here for the Lady Eagles from Marsh Valley to start off here in the 5th inning. As the first pitch from Keller hit right back to her on a couple of hops. Spears it, throws to first, and there's 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. And today's game brought to you by Rocky Mountain Power, Wattsmart Homes. It's a program that's based on rebates to residential customers for energy efficiency updates made around the home. Find out how it can apply to you at wattsmarthomes.com. So 1 out, back to the top of the order. Madison Foster grounded out and singled and takes the first pitch for a ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes, excuse me. Keller into the circle and comes home. Next pitch, that's lined toward the second baseman. Should short hop it, flip it to first in time for the out. Archibald and Dunn almost got together and tried to catch the ball in the air, but Dunn peeled off just at the nick of time and headed back to the bag. as Foster is out 4-3 for the second out here in the inning. Now here is Maddie Bartzel, who is struck out and lined into a double play. So 2 outs here in the 5th. As the pitch misses down an in-ball 1 ball and no strikes. Loser of this game will face American Falls tomorrow. The 1-0. Misses up high. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. The winner punches their ticket to the state tournament. Automatically. They would go as the top seed right now. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Ground ball to the right side. Archibald stays down on it, flips it across in time for the out. And the Lady Eagles are gone 1-2-3 here in the top of the 5th. So we'll go bottom 5 from here at Tony Hanson Field. After 4.5, Preston leading 6-3 on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
It's always nice to know who you're working with, especially when it comes to legal documents, loans, and title insurance tied to your home. Company-wide, Northern Title has been providing exceptional title work since 1977. In the Preston office, you work with Jan Stone, Monique Bear, Melanie Olson, Cassidy Loya, Afton Jones, and Charlie Bear. Let us answer any questions you have about title work, title insurance, and closings. We look forward to serving all of your title needs. Northern Title in Preston, Idaho. Good deeds done daily. Contact us today.
Go Preston!
If you're looking for someplace new as you head into your golden years, look into the tradition of quality designer homes built by Ralph's Construction in the Blue Sage Park area of Preston. Working in Phase 3 now, with Phase 4 starting soon, these homes can be built to a floor plan that you desire, or Ralph's Construction has other options that you're sure to fall in love with. Call today for more information, 435-232-1837. Now is the time to plan for the finest home of your lifetime. Ralph's Construction, 435-232-1837.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Today's game brought to you in part by Franklin County Medical Center, with the finest care that you'll find in all of the Cache Valley, and by Elisa Benson, your trusted real estate advisor. When it's time to buy or sell commercial or residential real estate, call Elisa Benson of North Realty, Idaho, or North Realty, Utah. She is a Preston graduate, and she's here to help you, Elisa Benson. So bottom 5, Preston leading 6-3. And here as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, Rachel Gilbert, Chloe Dunn, and Mesa Jones due up. As the first pitch is up high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Gilbert, who's 0 for 2 today, as she has grounded out a couple of times. Next pitch misses down low. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Gilbert, who's hit in 5 straight games. She's 5 for 10 on the year against Marsh Valley with their 2 at-bats today. She swings through that pitch, and it's 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 on Rachel Gilbert. 2-1 pitch. She's out in front of it. The count evens at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on this blustery Monday. 2-2 pitch. Again stays high, runs the count full, now 3-2. So the boys' state tournament is this coming weekend. The girls' state tournament would be the weekend after, as that pitch is on the corner, strike 3 called. Gilbert goes down looking. First out of the inning. 3rd strikeout today for Lydia Howell, and that'll bring up Chloe Dunn. Dunn, who's opened up the season hitting in 3 of the first 4 games that Preston had played. As Pitch is down low, ball one. 1 ball with no strikes. 1-0 pitch. Looped, and that's going to be fair into right field for a base hit as she picks up her second hit of the day. So Dunn with a pair of singles. This one comes with 1 out here in the 5th. And for Dunn, that would be her 8th multi-hit game of the year, as she has 2 hits today. You know, it's funny, when speaking with the head coach for the Indians before the game today, as we're talking about Dunn and her hitting streak, as that pitch misses outside to Jones, 1 ball and no strikes. She said that Dunn's the girl who really is like the barometer of the team. The way the team goes, her attitude is just that way. And it's always been positive. As that ball's popped up in the infield, dropped by the shortstop. Jones will reach, so get a force out at second base. As it will not be an error on the drop ball. It's actually going to be a fielder's choice for Jones. And then Dunn will be out 6-4 at second base for the force out. So there's 2 outs. And now here is Sam Owens. Owens struck out and was hit by a pitch. She's 0 for 1 on the day. As the pitch is outside, ball 1. 1 ball with no strikes. So maybe a little twist of fate there that Chloe was not running on the pitch as that ball's hit in the air to left field. That's going to be short hopped and then booted by the left fielder. Called. By the time they get it in, Preston will have runners at second and third. So that'll be a single and an error on the left fielder to allow the runners to move up the extra base. Just the second error of the day against the Lady Eagles, and now here is Oakley Hatch with 2 outs and 2 on. Preston leading 6-3. Howell ready? First pitch to Hatch. That's hit into right field, and that's going to be a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes the second run, and it's 8-3. As Preston with 2 hits this inning that don't even bend grass in right field. They hit so softly, and they pick up a couple of more runs. So Hatch with her second hit and drives in 2. And Preston now goes up 8-3 in the game, and now back to the top of the order again. And Avery Madsen will come back up. First pitch to Avery, hit back in the screen, and it's 0-1. Madsen with a pair of doubles in the game. And she has extended her hitting streak out today as she's now hitting 6 straight. The 2 hits today that she has gives her 13 multi-hit games on the year. And she has a 3-hit game as she again just chips one over the infield, this time in the left field. And coming to third and making it there, and Dunn will have her 3rd double of the day. As Hatch goes from first all the way to third. 4 hits in the inning for the Indians, which matches what they had last inning. And now here's Brielle Biggs, who drove in 2 runs last inning and bangs one again to right field, and that's going to score 2 more. As Biggs now with 4 RBIs in the game, as she has 3 hits. As Madsen and Hatch both come in to score. Preston has 4 in the inning, and they've really broken the game open now. As they lead 10-3, and we're going to get a visit to the mound as Peyton Campbell, the head coach for the Lady Eagles, comes out to the mound, out to the circle rather, to come out and visit with his pitcher, as Ellie Keller will be the next scheduled batter here for the Indians, the 8th batter here of the inning. (10-3) Preston, bottom 5 on the Flying S Title and Escrow scoreboard. They've scored in every inning. They have 4 hits in consecutive innings. They have 14 hits overall in the game. Now Keller, tired of waiting, and backs out, almost irritated as she now walks back in. First pitch to Keller, swinging, lines it foul over the top of the third base dugout, and it's 0-1. Today's game brought to you by West Motors, your only stop for newer used cars in Preston or Logan. Now part of the Mountain West Auto Group. 0-1 the count on Keller. She also has 2 hits today, looking for a third. As look out, again up and in to the left-hander, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball and a strike on Keller. Outfield straightaway and deep. The 1-1. Hit in the air, right field. Playable. Villano goes back and makes the catch. And that's the third out of the inning, but not before Preston scores 4 runs in the inning. 4 runs on 4 hits. There was an error and 1 left on base. So we are done with 5 as we'll move to the 6th on the Flying S Title and Escrow scoreboard. Preston has scored 6 runs in the last 2 innings and lead at 10-3 here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Hi, I'm Brad Phillips, professional trainer and owner of Puppy Steps Training. I believe that life is more enjoyable with a well-trained dog. That's why my team and I have come together to give you the ultimate dog training experience through Puppy Steps Training. Our 8-week board and train program is specifically designed to give your puppy a head start on life. Along with access to our extensive training material, you will receive daily progress reports, weekly photo and video updates, and a hands-on training demonstration. Discover the ultimate dog training experience with Puppy Steps Training, the premier dog training facility in northern Utah, and proud supporter of Westside and Preston High School athletics.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in industrial construction and support services since 1982. Our experts self-perform all phases of construction on new or existing structures, such as site excavation, access road creation, concrete foundations, welding, and the installation and maintenance of piping, tanks, metal buildings, and more. Our turnkey services will have your facility operational quickly and safely. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
Listen for Dan Hubbard and Preston Indian Sports on KACH.
Well, we'll go here to the top of inning number 6. Preston now leading 10-3. And today's game brought to you in part by our friends at Papa J's Deli and Jerky in Clifton. Next time you're in that way for lunch, stop in and pick up not only lunch, but some of that world-famous hickory smoked jerky that they serve up there. Or you can order it online. You can get it at papajs.com. Howell, Campbell, and Peck, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here in the top of inning number 6 here for Marsh Valley. Peck, who is 0 for 2, reached on an error and flew out to center. And she's first ball swinging and jerks one foul and along the left field line, and it's 0-1. It has been a blustery day, to say the least. Of course, at least, and I know better to say this, but I'll say it anyway, at least the rain has stayed away, knock on wood, as that pitch misses down and in, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Howell, who's playing in her 4th year at the varsity level for Marsh Valley, came in with a 2-game hitting streak. Has hit safely in 4 of her last 5, but she's 0 for 2 so far here today. She had a home run this year, and she hit that against Bear Lake. The 1-1 pitch. That's lined to left field. That's going to be in for a hit. So she leads off the 6th inning with a hit, her first hit of the day, as she extends her hitting streak out to 3 games, as modest as it might be. She did have a 6-game streak earlier in the year. So the leadoff batter's aboard, and now here's the center fielder, Lydia Campbell, who has a pair of doubles to her credit so far here today. So Campbell doubled in the 1st, doubled again in the 4th, and up here now with 1 on and nobody out here in the 6th. thing about Marsh Valley is they've had a lot of girls just play varsity softball for long periods of time. The ball hit foul at home plate as everybody was on the move, but that's going to be down off of Campbell's foot and while she was still in the box, so it's a foul ball. Howell, who stands at first base, as we told you, this is her 4th year of playing varsity softball. And for Campbell, she is wrapping up her 3rd year of playing softball at Marsh Valley. Next pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Campbell. Her last game against Snake River that they played, she was 0 for 3 and snapped a little 3-game hitting streak that she had going as a pitch hit foul, and it stays at no balls and 2 strikes. She has 3 hits this year against Preston in the 2 games they played coming into this game today, and she's added 2 more of those to that total today. So she's 5 for 9 overall on the year against the Indians. As that ball again going to be rolled foul, and it stays at no balls and 2 strikes. Today's game brought to you by Stokes Market, True Value. With the freshest meat and produce you'll find in Preston and throughout the Cache Valley. Stokes Market's on State Street in Preston. So no balls and 2 strikes on Olivia Campbell. Nobody out, 1 on. Here in the top of the 6th, Preston leads by 7. The 0-2 is on the corner, strike 3 called. So they get Campbell for the first time today. 3rd strikeout for Ellie Keller. Now here's Lisa Peck, who singled and grounded out to short. Peck hitting from the right side as she climbs in. And the first pitch is on the corner at the knees for a called strike. Peck, who singled her last time up, well, she extended a hitting streak as well. She's now hit in 5 of the last 6. No balls, 1 strike. 1-0 pitch, hit foul back into the screen, and it's 0-2 now on Peck. No balls and 2 strikes. Keller stalking again back there behind the mound. Now back into the circle in the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Knocked down. They go to second. They get the one there. Back to first. Not in time. As the ball gets away, rolls into the dugout, and that's going to give Peck second base. So she'll reach on the fielder's choice, and then the throwing error by the second baseman Campbell, or Archibald rather, will give Peck second base. So she's there with 2 outs. And now here is Maya Anderson due up. Anderson with a pair of hits today. As the first pitch misses down low, ball 1 ball and no strikes. She's singled twice, and each time has been been awarded second base because of errors against the Indians. Once against the center fielder and once against the third baseman. Preston's committed 4 errors in the game as that pitch is up high. 2 balls and no strikes. In fact, last inning, when the Indians set down the side in order, was the first inning in the game today, and so far the only inning in the game today in which they did not commit an error, as they have an error here in this inning, and they have 5 overall in the game, as the 2-0 pitch over for a strike, and it's 2-1. Two balls and a strike on Anderson with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Keller back into the circle once again, and the 2-1 pitch is high, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. So she falls behind Anderson, 3 balls and a strike. Up by 7. You just like to see her just throw strikes, make the Lady Eagles put the ball in play someplace. Here comes the 3-1. It's high, ball 4. So the walk puts 2 on. And that'll bring up Maya Lorster, the first baseman. First walk in the game for Keller. And with 2 on and 2 out, Ellie will climb back into the circle and ready to go back to work. The first pitch is down low, ball 1. Nice save by Campbell to keep it from going to the backstop, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch misses well outside, ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes. You know, when you think about it, Keller working into her 6th inning here is working in her 13th inning in the last 2.5 days. She pitched the game on Saturday afternoon and went 7 innings in that one. The 2-0 is over for a strike. 2-1. How about it? Think you could go out and pitch 13 innings in 3 days? No, I couldn't. Not at all. Not in my best of days. 2-1 pitch popped up as it's going to land foul just out of the reach of Paisley Campbell, and it's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes, and everybody will have to go back. Today's game brought to you by Ready Support Services. If you're interested in joining their team, visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready. And that's spelled R-E-D-I. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Maya Lorster, the first baseman, and she pokes it foul down on the right field line. That too will go foul, and it's going to stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes as everybody will come back. Just a couple of minutes short of an hour and a half playing time so far here in this game. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Preston leading 10-3. And again, the 2-2 is going to be high, run the count full. Now she's a pitch away from loading the bases. Naya Call, who was 1 for 2, waiting on deck. Keller, who walked her only batter here in the inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Rolled foul, or fair, I guess they're going to call it. As down to get it is Keller. She'll throw to first in time for the out, and she's able to get out of the inning as Lorster rolls back toward her at the circle for the 3rd out. No runs. There was a hit, a walk, and they leave 2 on base. As we are done with 5.5, we go bottom 6 from here at Tony Hanson Field on the Flying S Tile and Escrow scoreboard. Indians leading by 7. It's 10-3 here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
At Bighorn Cleaning, we understand that maintaining a clean environment is essential for both comfort and health. That's why we specialize in a variety of services, including carpet, upholstery, grout, and tile cleaning. Whether it's reviving the vibrancy of your carpets, restoring the freshness of your upholstery, or rejuvenating the shine of your tile, we deliver exceptional results every time. With our competitive pricing and unmatched expertise, we strive to make your cleaning experience hassle-free. Contact us at 208-317-6544 to schedule your next cleaning appointment.
When you're hungry for a delicious burger, roast beef sandwich, and an ice-cold soda, stop at Papa J's Deli in Clifton, Idaho. You'll get an amazing meal at an affordable price, and you'll enjoy great conversation. Papa J's is famous for the best beef jerky, but you'll also find a delicious menu, a friendly staff, great snacks, and good friends at Papa J's Deli. Stop in today to satisfy your hunger. Papa J's, 10 South Main Highway, Clifton, Idaho.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
All right, bottom six. Preston, I don't know if they need any insurance runs or not. They lead by 7. Paisley Campbell will lead it off, who's the only batter who did not get to the plate last inning and hits the first pitch foul, and it's 0-1. Today's game brought to you by Canyon Creek Dental. With offices in Preston and in Grace, they'll give you a smile that you can always be proud of. And we invite you to stay tuned for the Ralph's Construction postgame show. Will come up after this one's over, as that ball's rolled foul up along the third base side, and it's 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. (10-3) Preston leads here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 outs left for Marsh Valley, as the pitch is well outside, as the catcher Anderson set up about 1.5 feet off the plate to see if they could get Campbell to chase one, but she wouldn't bite, and it's now 1-2. Next pitch to Campbell is up high, 2-2. Rachel Gilbert and Chloe Dunn will also hit here in the inning as the Indians send up the middle third of the order. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, it's out to the shortstop. Foster has it, plays it across for the first out. So Campbell rolls out. She's 1 for 4 in the game. Now here is Rachel Gilbert, who's looking for her first hit. She's grounded out twice and took a called third strike her last time up. As Gilbert will come to the plate. She only played about half the first game of this here in the tournament. Back on Saturdays, Allie Smith hit for her about the 4th or 5th inning of the game. She went 1 for 2 in that game against American Falls and falls behind here. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. If you're looking ahead to the 7th inning for Marsh Valley, it'll be Call, Van Loven, then back to the top of the order in Foster, 8, 9, and 1. As that pitch is on the inside corner, strike 3 call. So Gilbert goes down on strike. She's 0 for 4 in the game today. And that'll bring up Chloe Dunn. So Gilbert, unless the roof falls in on the Indians and she gets another at-bat, all the more likely her 5-game hitting streak will come to an end here today. As now here is Dunn, as she lines one along the right field line, foul, and it's 0-1. Dunn with a pair of hits as she has extended her hitting streak out here in the game today, as she has now hit in a total of 14 in a row. Now has 8 multi-hit games on the year as well. The 0-1 swung on and missed. 0-2. Done 2 for 3 in the game. She's 7 for 9 on the year against Marsh Valley pitching. The 0-2. Little roller up along first. That's going to be fair as it goes right to the bag. Lorchester picks it up, steps on the bag, and just that easy. The Indians are out as they go in order for the first time today here in the bottom of the 6th inning. But Preston's 3 outs away from punching their ticket to Boise as we go to the 7th. After 6 complete, it's Preston 6, Marsh Valley 3 here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
In today's world, you need a bank that moves as fast as you move. A bank where personal relationships are still the norm and where your life, your business, and your needs come first. That's what you'll find at Cache Valley Bank. With locations in southern Idaho and throughout Utah, Cache Valley Bank offers you the personalized service of a hometown bank with the resources and capacities of a large bank. Visit Cache Valley Bank today. Let us help you build the financial network you need. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
100% guarantee is a good thing, and that's what you get when you hire the professionals at Yardmaster Services. We help you get the yard of your dream with custom fertilization for grass, trees, and shrubs, spraying for weeds, and lawn aeration. We also help keep your sprinkler system in top shape with turn-on and turn-off services, including winterization and small repairs. We even eliminate the bugs in the lawn and around the house. Yardmaster, serving commercial and residential customers. Call Yardmaster Services today for a free quote.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
All right, we go to the 7th inning. Preston leading 10-3. And here for Marsh Valley, it's the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Nia Call, Avery Van Loven, and then back to the top of the order, Madison Foster due up. As the Indians look for back-to-back complete game starts out of Ellie Keller as she goes to work here in the 7th inning. First pitch and on the ground to the shortstop. Madsen has it, plays it across for the first out. One pitch, one out. Here comes Van Loven, who was hit by a pitch and also grounded out. She's 0 for 1 officially today. As the Lady Eagles have 6 hits today. Keller gave up just 2 hits here on Saturday. As that ball hit on the ground to third, under the glove of Jones and out into left field. The leadoff, I should say, with 1 out, they get a hit. As Van Loven will reach. And back to the top of the order now, and Madison Foster is due up. Foster 1 for 3. Grounded out a couple of times, singled back in the third, but then was out as part of a line-out, throw-out double play. And now up there with 1 out. One out, one on. That pitch hit in the air toward right as coming up, but then Hatch will have to play it on a bounce and back-to-back hits. So Foster has her second hit of the game. 2 outs, or 2 on, I should say, and 1 out. And Maddie Barsic comes up. Barsic is 0 for 3. Hit into a double play, struck out, and grounded out. First pitch to Barsic is down low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-0 the count. Next pitch home is a ground ball to third. Gets hit wide of third. Cut off there by Jones. Throws across in time for the out, and there's a second out. She didn't even worry about the other runners. She made sure that she had the sure out at first base. So there's 2 outs. Runners at second and third, which don't mean anything because Marsh Valley is down 7-3, and they're down to their last out. And that's the pitcher, Lydia Howell, who will come up here. Howell singled, reached on an error, and flown out. She's 1 for 3. As the pitch is over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Brandy Himmert was a part of the last Preston team that participated in state. As that ball hit in the air to right center field, going back on the ball is Biggs. It's going to hit off the fence. 2 runs will come in. It's a 2-run double for Howell, and it makes it 10-5. Got one up in the wind, and the wind just kept blowing it, just like had happened to Preston a couple of times during the day today. third hit of the inning. The hit makes it 10-5. And now here's the center fielder, Olivia Campbell, who has a pair of doubles today, and hits that ball foul up along the third base line, and it's 0-1. Yeah, she was part of that team that went to state. It was her senior year. And it just so happens that her birthday comes up next weekend. As that pitch popped up into short left, here comes Owens and makes the catch for the out. And for the first time in 16 years, the Preston Indians are going to go play for a state championship, as the top two teams from this district tournament will both go to state, and Preston guarantees theirself at least one of those spots with a win here today. So for the first time in 16 years, Preston will participate in the state tournament as they win the game here today by the final score of 10-5. Congratulations to the Indians. As we invite you to stay tuned, we'll have the post-game show coming up next here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
Tonight's game was brought to you by Northern Title, the trusted name in the tri-state area. Rocky Mountain Power, WattSmartHomes.com, offering rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. Ready Support Services, we are ready. West Motor Company, your only stop for new or used cars in Preston and in Logan. Franklin County Medical Center for the finest care in all of the Cache Valley. Stokes Market True Value with the finest meat and produce in Preston. S&T Electric, it's what we do. Flying S Escrow and Title, land title protectors since 1905. Ultimate Power Sports, get ready for your next outdoor adventure at Ultimate Power Sports in Preston. Elisa Benson of North Realty, Idaho and North Realty, Utah. Webb Funeral Home, serving Preston and the surrounding communities since 1925. Cache Valley Bank, serving Utah and southern Idaho with 21 locations. Yardmaster, keeping lawns healthy throughout the Cache Valley. Puppy Steps Training, northern Utah and southern Idaho's premier board and training facility since 2011. Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency, your local agents right here in Preston. Canyon Creek Dental, with 2 area locations to serve you. Preston Auto Parts CarQuest, stop in downtown Preston where you will be treated like a friend. Papa J's, making world-class jerky locally right here in Clifton. Ralph's Construction, building custom homes throughout the region. Now stay tuned, the Ralph's Construction postgame show is coming right up.
It's a beautiful day for a ball game, today. If you and I are out of dollars and cents, oh honey, we can always share a little hole in the fence. It's a beautiful day for the ladies, so throw all your dishes away. We're gonna cheer and boo and raise a hullabaloo at the ball game today. At the ball game, a wonderful ball game today. Wow!
If you're looking for someplace new as you head into your golden years, look into the tradition of quality designer homes built by Ralph's Construction in the Blue Sage Park area of Preston. Working in Phase 3 now, with Phase 4 starting soon, these homes can be built to a floor plan that you desire, or Ralph's Construction has other options that you're sure to fall in love with. Call today for more information, 435-232-1837. Now is the time to plan for the finest home of your lifetime. Ralph's Construction, 435-232-1837.
When you think of outdoor adventure, you might think of snow machines, four-wheelers, side-by-sides, motorcycles, or even cutting wood or taking care of the lawn. No matter what your definition of outdoor adventure is, always remember Ultimate Power Sports. We carry brand names like Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha, Skidoo, Stihl, and Toro. Offering sales and service, your fun really does begin at Ultimate Power Sports. With multiple in-store financing options, we can help you have outdoor adventures right now. Stop in today, Ultimate Power Sports in Logan and Preston.
When you are looking for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but you want something that is ready to eat now, always stop at the Stokes Market Deli in Preston. With cold and hot cases, you can always find food that is fresh, hot, or cold. Sandwiches, soup, salads, deviled eggs, donuts, wraps, cheese trays, desserts, and a hot and delicious buffet. A meal out doesn't have to be at a restaurant. Come and enjoy something for everyone at the Stokes Market Deli today. 217 South State Street in Preston.
Across the FM airwaves, we're heard at 105.5. On the far-reaching AM dial, we're at 1340. And on the internet at mylocalradio.com. Wherever you find us, we are KACH, Preston, Smithfield, Logan.
It's time for the Preston Indians postgame show. Coming up, we'll recap the just completed game, take a look at the final stats, and a look at what's ahead for the Preston teams. The postgame show is brought to you by Ralph's Construction, building quality designer homes in the Blue Sage Park area of Preston. For more information, call 435-232-1837.
Well, Preston Indians head coach Brandy Hemmert told me about 4 days ago that she was looking for a trip out of town for her birthday. She didn't want to say it, but she was hoping that it would be a trip to Boise. Well, with a win here today, Brandy gets to make plans to go for her birthday weekend as her and her Lady Indians will be headed to the state tournament in Boise coming up for the first time in 16 years as they pick up a win here today by the final score of 10-5 to clinch at least a spot in the state tournament, as they'll finish no worse than second here in the district tournament with the top two teams in the 5 teams tournament clinching spots to the state tournament. So Preston wins it. Final totals for the win for the Indians, 10 runs on 14 hits. Even though they committed 5 errors in the game, they left 4 men on base. Marsh Valley with 5 runs on 9 hits. They committed 2 errors and they left 6 in the game. And it was Ellie Keller pitching her second complete game in 3 days as she goes the distance today to pick up the victory. And it was Lydia Howell who suffered the loss today for the Lady Eagles for Marsh Valley as they come up short, losing 10-5 to the Indians in a game that took 1 hour and 43 minutes to play here at Tony Hanson Field. So congratulations to the Indians. They know they're going to state, but they still have one more game left in the tournament. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll tell you about our players of the game and what's coming up as far as games left in the district tournament. We'll do all that as we continue right after this on the Ralph's Construction postgame show here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
In a world that's full of unknowns, you don't have to worry about whether or not your insurance has got you covered when life throws you a curveball. If your coverage is with Farm Bureau, the Smith Insurance Agency in Preston, offering policies from auto to home, farm and ranch to crop insurance, and business to life insurance. The Smith Insurance Agency does it all. No matter what challenges life brings, you're not alone. Make sure you've got the right coverage in the right areas of your life. Schedule a free insurance review today with Farm Bureau, the Smith Insurance Agency in Preston.
Purchasing land or a new home is one of life's major milestones. It says you're committed to a better life, to building something worthwhile. Since 1905, Flying S has been land title protectors, ensuring you have clear ownership rights to your home and your land. By blending personalized hometown customer service with sophisticated, cutting-edge technology, we meet each customer's real estate transaction needs. When you need a title company, choose the one that's been serving customers for over 119 years. Flying S Title and Escrow, 28 West Oneida, Preston.
For 78 years, West Motor Company has stood by your family. While the generations have come and gone, our commitment to quality and service has never wavered. Our team is here to ensure you find the vehicle that keeps your loved ones safe on every journey. When trust matters most, choose West Motor Company, now proud to be part of the Mountain West Auto Group.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Well, welcome back here to the Ralph's Construction postgame show with Ralph's Construction building fine custom homes throughout the area. Call them for more information at 435-232-1837. Indians win it 10-5. They had a number of players who had outstanding efforts today. Let's run down some of them as we talk about our players of the game, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency. Avery Madsen, who had 3 hits today to extend a hitting streak. She also scored 3 times in the game. Brielle Biggs also collected 3 hits, and she drove in 4 runs in the game. Ellie Keller had a pair of hits, also went the distance for the win, went 7 innings, gave up 5 runs on 9 hits. She only walked 1 and struck out 3 in the game, but the big swing of the bat had to come from Mesa Jones, who in the second inning got things off and running for the Indians. They were in a 1-1 tie, and she blasted a 2-run home run. They got the Indians out in front 3-1, and they never looked back after that as they went on to win it by the final score of 10-5. Our players of the game brought to you by Marsh, by Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency. Don't leave the things that matter to you to chance. Call Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency today at 208-852-2364 or stop by their office at 33 South First East here in Preston. All right, still a couple of games left in the tournament. We'll tell you about those. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and tell you about the other games coming up. The games tomorrow are not here at Tony Hanson Field. We'll tell you about those when we come back after our last time out here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
If you're looking for someplace new as you head into your golden years, look into the tradition of quality designer homes built by Ralph's Construction in the Blue Sage Park area of Preston. Working in Phase 3 now, with Phase 4 starting soon, these homes can be built to a floor plan that you desire, or Ralph's Construction has other options that you're sure to fall in love with. Call today for more information, 435-232-1837. Now is the time to plan for the finest home of your lifetime. Ralph's Construction, 435-232-1837.
WattSmart is Rocky Mountain Power's energy efficiency program. WattSmart provides rebates to residential customers for energy efficiency upgrades made around the home. Devices and appliances that use electricity in your home can usually be made more efficient, and that can save you money and energy. When you decide to make upgrades, we have rebates available for you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
One of the things that makes Northern Title unique is the fact that we serve clients in 3 states, Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming. Each state has different rules and regulations, and our experienced staff understands each unique rule, so we can facilitate closings in all 3 states. If you're buying a home in Star Valley and you want to close in Preston, it's no problem. The company logo is Good Deeds Done Daily. We are preparing Good Deeds Daily, but it's more than that. We really are trying to serve the community in a good way. Northern Title, Good Deeds Done Daily. Visit us today.
Go Preston!
Listen for Dan Hubbard and Preston Indian Sports on KACH.
So the Indians win it today, 10-5. They know that they have 1 game left in the tournament before they go off to state. That'll be Thursday. However, there's a game to be played before that. That'll be tomorrow afternoon, as American Falls, who was a winner today and eliminated Bear Lake, they will face this Marsh Valley team tomorrow afternoon at Marsh Valley in an elimination game. The survivor of that game will then come back here on Thursday to face the Indians in a early start in a potential doubleheader, as that would also be an elimination game to see who will be the number 1 and number 2 seeds for the state tournament. So coming up on Thursday, the Lady Indians will be back here at Tony Hanson Field. First game starts at 1:30 on Thursday. Then, if necessary, they'll play the second game at 4 o'clock to see who goes to state as the number 1 seed. But Preston knows they get a couple of days off, as they'll be back here on Thursday to take on the winner of that game between American Falls and Marsh Valley coming up tomorrow afternoon at Marsh Valley. But we have to worry about that. We just know that we are headed to Boise, and we'll be back in action here on Thursday to see who goes as the number 1 and number 2 seeds to the state tournament. So congratulations again to the Lady Indians. They'll head to the state tournament for the first time in 16 years as they pick up a win here today by the final score of 10-5. The executive producer of KACH Radio Sports is Val Cook. Our associate producer is Jace Andrews. And thanks again to John Beverly back in the studio at KACH to keep us on the air today. And again, we appreciate all that he does. It took an hour and 43 minutes, but Preston knocked off the Marsh Valley Eagles to punch their ticket to Boise and head to the state tournament for the first time in 16 years as they win it today by the final score of 10-5. I'm Dan Hubbard here at Tony Hanson Field, wishing you a very pleasant good night, and we'll talk to you again on Thursday.
Thank you for listening to the Preston Indians postgame show. This broadcast has been a production of Preston Broadcasting, LLC, and was intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Use of any portion of this production, its accounts or descriptions, in whole or in part, may not be used or rebroadcast without the express written permission of Preston Broadcasting, LLC.